Welcome back, everybody. And yes, we're going to find out what they have to say when I tell them it was the waiter who was really a police officer. A police officer, a waiter, poppycock. What possible reason would the waiter have to make these witnesses give false testimony? Not to mention the fact that even a head waiter could not possibly have had that level of influence. For once, I would agree with you. If that is, the man truly were a waiter. If he truly were, come on, Renosuke. Time to hit this court with the truth. Truth about Hasanara Sanaga's real identity as proven by this evidence. Present.
Yes!
Time of the restaurant sketched by the man in the question. I agree, it shows a great deal of attention to detail, but I'm not sure where we conclude anything. Sorry, I can see that's the back of the card. It's the back. The back of the card that's of interest. I beg your pardon? Or perhaps I should have said the front. Yes, it's the front of the back of the card. That's where the telling detail is. Would somebody please explain what this overexcited student is trying to say? Hasanaga-san sketched the plan of the restaurant onto the reverse side of his business card. The front of that business card reveals the man in question's profession, his true profession, the waiter's profession. But that's surely good gracious. That's right, Your Excellency. The card reads Chief Inspector, Primary Criminal Investigation Division, Imperial Police Bureau. What? The waiter is a police detective. I haven't heard any mention of this before. I haven't heard any mention of this before. Imperial Police Bureau has immense power, absolute power, as far as regular civilians are concerned. So witnesses there in the stand? Was it in fact the waiter who gave you your orders? Was it he who not told you, not to mention that you'd not seen the foreign gentlewoman, not woman, at the scene? Bruh? Well... Hold it! That's Phoenix Wright. If this guy... Look, if Phoenix Wright's in this game somehow, I'm just saying. Inspector Hasanaga. I was worried something like this may happen. Especially when I gave you my business card that said that I'm a cop. The moment you asked me to submit my sketch as evidence, I realized it was a possibility. There you go. For an investigator, you sure are stupid. No, yeah, that's right. He was. That's right. I remember that. But you lied to say to court. You're still perjuring, bro. You did act strange when the judge asked him to hand over his business card. I strive to carry out all investigations flawlessly. It's my guiding principle. But I let myself be distracted when I made that sketch. It was an unusually careless mistake. So you mean to say you really are a detective? No. Yes, no. Yes, no. Why would a waiter detective want to work as a restaurant worker? Of course, your salary must be terrible. I was working undercover. Undercover? Yes, there have been a series of incidents at the restaurant recently. In order to investigate, I decided to get a job there as a waiter, working undercover. Ah, incidents at the restaurant. What kind of incidents? None of your business. That would be classified police information, which I am not at liberty to divulge. However, it can state categorically they are unrelated to this case of homicide. But I also lied earlier, so maybe you shouldn't believe everything I say. This is a tutorial. When you ever hear tutorial disco music, look. You know what I'm saying? Ooh! Good music. Very well then, Inspector Asanaga, but you will elaborate on one point for the court. Of course, Your Excellency. We have just heard new information from the two witnesses beside you. That at the time of the shooting, there was in fact another person present at the victim's table. that is indeed true, clearly you would also have been aware of this person's presence, having served at the table in question. However, your testimony did not allude to this other diner, therefore I'm led to assume you're lying. You're perjury. That in your professional capacity as a police officer, you required these witnesses to be in agreement. Would that be correct? Oh yeah, he's dying. I forgot about that. Correct, Your Excellency. Unbelievable. I believe it, as I suspected. Bang! Oh, someone died in the court? As soon as I heard the gunshot, I ran out of the kitchen to see what had happened. The victim sat slumped in his chair. Beside him, gun in hand, stood the accused student. Sitting opposite the victim at the same table was a young lady, who I guessed to be an Englishwoman. So the truth comes out. I immediately sealed off the restaurant and reported the incident to the bureau. It was then that I received some special orders. Special orders? You mean to say, remove the Englishwoman from the scene at once? It was made clear that the Englishwoman's presence at the restaurant was to be concealed. Those are my orders. But what if his Englishwoman was the killer? I think it will be in everyone's best interest not to pursue that idea. No, not his. Not mine. The Empire views the friendly terms of relationship with Britain more highly than anything in the moment. Englishman has been murdered on our soil. To name an Englishwoman as the primary suspect, well, without irrefutable evidence, that would be completely out of the question. You're a policeman, bro. Look, here's what I don't understand. Okay, look. You're a policeman. Your job is to find the truth and solve it. So if you're telling me that just let this happen just so you can't say that someone killed someone else, like, oh, someone died in our soil, we have to make sure that it was one of our guys who did it. Why not find out the truth? Why not do your job, bro? You're a terrible policeman. Give me your badge and your gun. You're no longer an officer. What's the reason for the disappearance of this phantom woman in this case? But it's not right. Everyone just sitting in silence. That's what it is? Are we all in silence? I'll break the silence. Who's hungry for some steak? That steak looked good in that picture, bro. I'm kind of craving a little steak right now, I'm not gonna lie. If I had a steak in front of me, it wouldn't be in front of me very long. Just saying. One possibility does spring to mind. What do you mean, Kazuma? Humane University is currently hosting a number of exchange students from the Great Britain. I'm fairly certain that one of them, studying in a metal factory's research laboratory, is a young Englishwoman. What? You're a shrewd man. Why? He's doing your job, you idiot. You bonk. You absolute buffoon. I can see why you're the chosen candidate for the overseas study tour. Why do you know so much about this but you don't know who, but you didn't want to investigate the woman? You mean, when I removed the woman from the scene of the crime, I thought it prudent to check her identity first. Then the court demands that you name the lady in question at once, Inspector. The Englishwoman sitting at the university professor's table was a certain Miss Giselle Brett. Yo, shout out to Miss Giselle Brett. What a name. She's indeed a foreign student studying in the research laboratory of UMA University's medical faculty. What? What is happening here? He should be like, I resign from the case. I declare a mistrial. Perjury and mistrial. We don't know the answers. Let someone else take the fall. Not Owie, or whatever his name is, Ouchie. I'll admit that under orders from the police bureau, I erased all evidence of this lady's presence at the scene. Ooh. In order these witnesses to make no mention of her at their testimonies. Bro straight up admitted to being a liar. It must now be up to your excellency to decide how to deal with the situation. No, it's up to me. You're fired. You're fired. Very well. My thoughts on the matter are as follows. Thus far, the case presented to the court has been underpinned by a particularly critical premise, namely that the victim was dining alone. However, as we have now discovered that this premise is false. I'm adding words that don't exist there. I have dyslexia, I think. It would be a desecration of our justice system to ignore the truth and give this a ruling at this point. But, Your Excellency, that would mean missing the noon deadline of ruling in order to send a telegraphic report to Great Britain. Our own government will surely be very displeased by such actions. Doesn't matter. Calm yourself, Counsel. I will not allow the government of our country or any other to influence the proceedings of my courtroom. There you go. Good judge. W. Judge. Inspector Hasanaga? Yes, sir. You will locate this Giselle Brett and escort her to the courtroom with the utmost urgency. At once, Your Excellency. That means you'll be going against the special order you were given for the police bureau. As I said before, it is my guiding principle to carry out all investigations flawlessly. So it won't be a problem? Nothing will get in my way. Except a little blood. Does anyone have a cough medicine? Couldn't think of a funny name like Diamond Tap? Court will adjourn briefly. Prosecution must call the English student Giselle Brett to the witness stand. Do I make myself clear? Clear as Konichi glass, or whatever you said earlier. Your Excellency! You'll have a 30-minute recess before reconvening. Bang. Bang. My glasses reflection from the light make it look like. You guys see that? Save your current progress? Yes. We'll save it right here. Overwrite save file? 100%. We're here, baby. Now, here's what we'll do. Let's get to the opening. Every time I do that, like from here to here, it hurts. Yeah, from here to here, it hurts. That's weird. Okay, guys. Thanks for watching, everyone. We'll see you guys next time to see what this 30-minute recess is all about.